Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm with the International Junior Miss Florida, Carolyn Munson.
Hi guys.
Hi. So today we wanted to get together and do a tutorial for you. We wanted to kind of give you kind of what we do at a pageant. We just did a big one this weekend.
Yes, so we did. USA National Miss Florida, the first ever state pageant, and it went fantastic.
It did. Yeah, your mom and you guys killed it. Killed it. Met some awesome young ladies that I got to do this weekend too, or last weekend, and made some awesome friendships, relationships, and can't wait for the next one. And so today we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with her face. We're gonna do a full face of Glam, and then we're gonna move into her hair. So we just wanted to take you guys along and kind of see what it's like and see how we prep and get ready. So just keep watching, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so you can stay tuned for everything that we come out with, because I think we're going to do like a series.
Yeah, probably. Because we're always having different hair, different makeup for all these different events that we're going to.
I've known yours for how long now?
3 years almost.
Yeah.
But I've known her for like a long time.
I know. You were in first grade with Emma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With my youngest sister, Emma, and I even tutored you for a while. I don't know why that happened, but I did. And
yeah, so we can go back a long ways.
We go back a long ways, even our parents.
Yeah. Oh, and she'll also be at USA National Miss Nationals, July 10th through the 15th.
Yay.
And she will also be at International Junior Miss up in Nashville, Tennessee at Gaylord Opryland, July 3rd through the 8th. So if you need hair and makeup, book with Kayla.
You know where to find me. Thank you. That was good. Okay. You're better than I am at this.
I don't know
why. You didn't have a card. I have a prompt. I had to write. Never mind. You know what? Let's get into the hair and makeup, because that's what I'm good at. Alright guys, just keep watching. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. So now I'm starting off the look with Benefit Professional Primer. This stuff, I have come across it. I've heard a lot about it for a long time, but finally purchased it and started using it, and I'm in love with it. It really fills in your pores and does completely blur everything. It's a wonderful primer, and I'm just using that on the back of a beauty blender to kind of have a little extra moisture to push it into our skin. Now I'm taking the Nivea Men's Aftershave Balm in sensitive skin and just applying that all over the face. Still one of my absolute favorite primers of all time. Especially if you have a client with more sensitive skin, it's a lot more gentle on the pores, and it really does last and make your makeup last all day. So now I'm taking the Pro Glow L'Oreal, if I can get in focus, there we go, Infallible Pro Glow, and I'm mixing it with the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I like the Milani. I added the Milani. I mixed the two because the Pro Glow is definitely more neutral and can have a little bit of a pinky tone to it, so I wanted to take the Milani, which has definitely more of a yellow warm base, and I just mixed those two together and it got her perfect shade. So that's a lot of the times, guys, it's best to mix foundations to get your perfect shade, because I know for myself, especially with my hair and complexion, it's hard for me to find one shade that fits all and that works for me. So I definitely find that mixing is definitely your best friend. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just again applying that with the beauty blender. So now I'm taking the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm using the yellow one because it just is a little bit of color correcting, help with any discoloration, and help brighten up her under eye. I'm taking the Urban Decay and the Tarte Naked Skin. Well, no, I just mixed those two names. Tarte Shape Tape and then Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. And I'm just mixing the two together again. I'm mixing the Shape Tape is in the light and Urban Decay one's in the fair, I believe. So I just wanted to fair neutral. So I like to mix those together so it's not so bright of a highlight on her because she is tanner in complexion. So just mix the two together, and then I'm going to apply it to the place you want to highlight. So you want to highlight under the eyes and onto the eyelids, obviously, and look at how much more awake she looks just on that one side. Then you want to take it to the center of the forehead, and then you want to take it down the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, and the chin. And you want to just even out. That way it just brings the light and the attention to the center of the face and just makes everything look more open and awake. And that's how you balance out the highlights. So now I'm going in with a setting powder, and I can't remember the name of this brand for the life of me, but it is like a banana powder, so it is a little bit tinted. It has more of like a yellowy tone to it. I wanted to do that just to kind of keep with her, obviously her skin coloring and everything. I wanted to keep color correcting and not make it so stark white underneath there. So I went ahead and used the banana powder first, And then you'll see me going in and use the RCMA No Color Powder. But I start off using that as the base. And here it is. It just gives you the title of what the name of it is. But I go in there, and again, I'm using a damp beauty blender because it really melts the powder into the skin, and it makes it so you don't get such flashback. And it really just gives a flawless base. So now I'm taking the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm still using that same beauty blender, and I do spray the beauty blender in between with a setting spray. So I use like the Urban Decay like all-nighter setting spray, and I will spray the beauty blender throughout my makeup application, so it really like infuses with the product and pushes it into the skin, and also locks it in. So that's a really great tip if you need your makeup to last all day, like in a wedding or a pageant or prom. Whatever you need is to spray setting spray onto your beauty blender, and it really helps with that. So then I just finished using that. It mattifies the face too, so I find that setting, you need to set your liquids for sure to ensure long lasting ability all throughout the day. And so that's what I do. I just put it all over the face, and it mattifies the face and also keeps it in place all day. So now I'm taking, as you can see, that doesn't reflect very well, but the e.l.f. I'm loving these e.l.f. powders. I just found mine at Target the other day, and they have 2 shades, I think fair in light and a light medium or something. So I'm taking the light medium, and I'm just dusting over her face because I like to make sure there's no flashback. So, for example, if you use too much setting powder or translucent powder, you'll get like a white cast. And so if you take photos and selfies and whatnot, you'll start to see like white eyes, like white under eyes, and it's not too cute. So I do like to take a very light finishing powder and use a big powder brush and just dust that all over the face. And now I'm taking the lighter shade, and I'm just going back through and highlighting those spots that I did highlighting with the concealer. So again, guys, like this is definitely full coverage and full glam and lots of steps, but I promise you, your face does not look cakey at the end of the day. It looks flawless and beautiful, but the point is the long lasting. And when you use layers with things, if one layer breaks off, at least you have another underneath, and it just makes it flawless throughout the day. This is the setting spray I'm talking about, the Urban Decay All-Nighter. It's amazing. I'm in love with it. Like I said, I do spray it on my beauty blender to help apply the powders and sometimes even my concealer. But after I do the powder base, as you see here, you have so much powder on your face, and you want that to really sink in. So what I go ahead and do is I spray it all over the face and let that completely set in, and like almost you'll see like a little mist on her face, and then I let it dry, and then it like melts the powders into the skin, so there's nothing left. There's no tackiness, or there's no loose powder anywhere. So now I'm taking my Morphe palette, and this is, I mean, personally I use a lot of Anastasia products for brows, but for my clients I have the Morphe eyebrow palette is awesome because it gives you a wax palette, and then it gives you all these shades for any client you could ever have. So I'm using that right now, and I love it. It's beautiful. So I just use that with a spoolie back and forth in an angled brow brush. And this just allows me to go in and ombre her brows and definitely add more color towards the arch of the brow to the tail, and then I use a lighter color on the inner. That's kind of how you get that ombre effect. So that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm taking my clear Anastasia brow gel. This stuff just really makes your brows, it just sets whatever you put down, whether it's a brow pencil, brow powder, whatever you use, really just sets them for the rest of the day and makes them somewhat water resistant and keeps the brow hairs in place. Now I'm just taking some concealer in a flat brush and carving out the brows. It just adds a lot of highlight, and since the first look that I'm doing is going to be a matte smoky eye look, I really like to use that as like my highlight, my brow bone. So that's what I'm using there. And now I'm grabbing my Morphe 350 palette, which is like my holy grail go-to palette, especially for lots of clients, because the colors are just universal for whatever eye color you have, skin tone you have. It's perfect, and it has so many shadows to choose from. That's what I'm using now. So I'm taking my MAC 224 brush, and I'm using that to blend a transition shade into the crease. And I'm just going back and forth, and I'm bringing that down to her lid too, since we are going to smoke it out a little bit. As you see, I'm just going back and forth, building up the shadows. And now I'm taking my Morphe brush, and I'll have everything in the description bar below as far as the brush numbers and whatnot, just in case you want to purchase them. But this is more of like a flat shading brush, so it kind of gets more defined into the crease. So I take a darker brown now and just add a little bit more emphasis into the crease. Like I said, it's all just layering and building. That way you get that blown out effect versus a black eye effect. So This is, you can just take it back and forth like that and just add. Little goes a long way. So you want to start off with a little and add more, and you'll see in a minute too, I have her close her eyes and then I have her open her eyes, because I know for me, having even hooded lids and like almond shaped eyes, when my lid's closed, sometimes my shadows look awesome, and then I open my eye and it's like, where did they go? So it's always good to do that, to close your eye, to blend out a little bit, then to open up your eye and go back and forth. And as you can see here, we jumped ahead and we finished and completed one eye. I want to do that for the sake of time, and I think the camera was overheating. It needed to be turned off. So here we are. We've got one eye finished. I'm just going to complete the other one. And like I'm doing again, I'm just using between the two brushes and then the couple brown shades. I'm just building up. And again, starting with the darkest colors on the outer corner to really just give a more cat eye effect, okay, and open up the eye. And then I'm taking a Morphe, I think it's the G2, I have to look on that for sure, but it's another Morphe brush, and it's a pencil brush, and it just really smokes out the bottom lash line. And especially if you're doing anything for, performance on stage, pictures, it's beautiful to balance the eye, okay? You want to balance the eye. So if you have like a heavy smoky eye on top, you want to balance it out. So you want to kind of do the same thing you would on top to the bottom lash line as well, to just add that proportion and symmetry. So now I'm taking the Marc Jacobs eyeliner, which is so creamy and smooth. I love this eyeliner, and it stays put. And I'm putting that on her waterline. And now I'm taking the Essence Lash Mascara, and it's the Princess one. They have two of these. It's the Princess one. There's a green one and an orange one. I love both of them. This mascara is like $4 at Ulta, and it's phenomenal. So I'm just taking that on a applicator and applying it to her top and bottom lash. We're going to add lashes on her too, but you always want to go over your lashes before you put the lashes on, because you want to dust off any powder and whatnot. And another tip too, if you ever get mascara on your lid or your face, like I do all the time, you want to go ahead and let it dry completely, and then it will just flake off with a Q-tip. So that saves me. I used to not know that tip, and it used to be very messy. Now I'm using the Too Faced the sketch marker liner, and I love this marker. It's really, really nice. I love this one, the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Really help to just create a nice smooth line, and you want to do this. I didn't want to do any heavy wing or anything, but you want to do this so it hides the lash band. And so now as you add, you can see where you need more or less of shadows and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies, which are my absolute favorite, and the Duo Glue, and I use it in the dark tone. I knew Carolyn was saying that when she uses dark eyelash glue, it just doesn't work out well for her. So she likes to use the clear one. On clients, I love to use the dark lash glue because it really just disguises it just hides in the lash band easier. So you want to size the lashes to your eyes first. And if you see that they don't fit, you want to trim them from the outside. You don't want to trim the inner corner of them, because the inner corner is like, it goes gradual from short to long, like our natural lashes do. So it's just a little tip too. So cut from the outside to trim them. And then before you put the lashes on, you want to make sure that glue dries for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then try to put them on so it's tacky. And that will make sure they don't slide all over your eyelid. And then once they dry, I go back through and coat with a little bit of mascara, and I put liner back over the lash band to hide any kind of band or glue marks, and it just makes the lashes blend in with your natural lashes perfectly. Now I'm taking my favorite Hoola bronzer. It's beautiful for any skin tone. I'm taking the NARS Ita brush, and I'm just carving out her cheekbones. We're doing some contouring for sure. Again, this is definitely full glam look. You want to just go all out for this. So I'm taking that brush right now, and then I take a larger fluffy brush, and I just do this so it blends out the contour and makes it not so harsh. So I'm also going to take my RCMA No Color Powder again. I'm going to take the Beauty Blender, and I'm going to bake underneath her jawline right there. So it just gives me a clean, so if I'm a little bit messy with bronzing or whatever, I can go underneath and just clean it up. Now I'm taking the Wet n Wild's, I think it's a rose gold blush, and I'm mixing that with my MAC, the special edition one that has that highlighter that you'll see in a minute in it. I just kind of mix, it's like a little mauve pink with this peachy blush. It's just really pretty on her. So I'm mixing the two together. And now I am going with highlight, which is my favorite part. I sprayed a little bit of MAC Fix Plus onto my brush. You didn't see me use that, but I did. And then I dipped it into my MAC. I'll show you in just a second. It's a MAC highlighter that's a special edition, like Christmas one. It's beautiful. And I'm just putting that on her cheekbones and up by her temples and the highest points of her face, so it really just pops and brings out her cheekbones. So this is it right here. It was like their Nutcracker collection this Christmas. And that's the blush too below, but that's the highlighter that I'm using, and it's beautiful. I'm also mixing it with the Morphe palette, and I use these two in the center to mix the two. I love highlight, and I like to make my own, so you kind of just get creative, and it really just kind of tailors it to the person's face, which I find is really, really nice, and you're able to do that. So I'm just going to take a little bit more Fix Plus on my brush and dip it into the highlighters, and again, I like to layer in the spots. And so I do the apples of her cheeks, the cheekbones, I do down the bridge of her nose, Cupid's bow, and the center of her chin. So again, we want to balance out the highlights. Now I'm starting on her lips, and this is the L'Oreal Jennifer's Nude, I think it says, and it's from the J.Lo collection, and the Anastasia Liquid Lip in Crush. And that was a Christmas gift for my sister, and it was amazing. I absolutely love these two. And again, I'm mixing them, and I'm using a lip applicator and just spreading that onto her lip. I really like to mix, as you kind of see a theme in this video. It kind of just personalizes it, and you're able to make new colors out of it. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm kind of using these as a lip liner too. So I'm over drawing her lips slightly with it, and since it's a lipstick and a liquid lip, it will stay that way. So you won't have to worry about. You don't really want to overdraw with a gloss because it's glossy and it's not long lasting. But these are, so you don't really have to worry about that. So I'm going to take this around her lips and use it, and it just gives this beautiful pinky nude color, and it just kind of goes really well with the smoky eye and just enhances her lip color. And although I do love a matte look, I do think for stage and pictures, to make the lips look a lot more full and plump, you want to add a little bit of gloss in the center especially, and it just reflects the light, so it makes your lips look fuller, and just makes them, I think it just finishes off the look. And I do love a good liquid lip and a matte look for sure, but for certain occasions I definitely think it's beautiful to have a gloss, especially in the lights and on stage for sure. So that's what I'm using here. I'm using the Makeup Forever lip gloss in, I think, 202, I believe it is. I feel like no one talks about the Makeup Forever glosses, and I love them. They're nice size. They're only like $19 for a big tube of them, and they last a long time. So then I just sprayed her face with a little bit of Urban Decay All Nighter spray, and we're going to get started with the daytime hair now. Okay, so now I'm just going to start by brushing out her hair, just to get it prepped and all ready to go, because we're going to be putting in her extensions. So now I'm taking a sectioning comb, and I'm just splitting the hair into 3 sections. So I start right behind her ear, on either side, and then I have like a bulk of the hair in the back. So then I start like right below her parietal ridge and her neck, base of her neck. And I'm using like 3 hair care products. So I'm using the Mika texturizing spray, dry shampoo, and another one from Kenra. And it really just gives texture to the hair, and Carolyn's hair is more fine, and for extensions and clip-ins you really want to make the hair more dirty, and so the extensions can adhere nicely to the hair. So you'll see me back combing right at the section as I back comb, and then it gives me something so they don't slide out, so it clips them in and they don't slide that way. And now I'm just doing another section, and normally I'm doing a lot of extensions today, and it just depends on the hairstyles I'm doing on her, to how many we put in and how many we don't. We kind of customize it each time. But today I wanted a lot of hair, so that's what we're doing. And I always start with the 3 tracks first, the 3 clip-ins first down the back of her neck, because her head is more narrow, so it just kind of is subject to change. And once I get past the nape of the neck up to like the parietal ridge and whatnot, her head gets a little bit wider, so I'm able to put like the 4 one in alongside. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just, again, layering. And she's got platinum blonde ones and ones with highlights and lowlights. So I just kind of mix the two in between. And then I kind of brush them as I go, because you want the hair to just kind of blend together with the natural hair. And again, it's all about sectioning and dirtying up the hair and just kind of seeing where they fall. And each client is different, because each head is different, and everyone's head of hair is different. So as you can see here, I'm taking a little bit more in my section just because I'm going to add the longer strip in, and I'm just teasing again, so the clips have something to grab onto. After you put them in place, they don't slide down that way. So now I'm grabbing the long one. That's the 4 one. This is the one that obviously has highlights and lowlights in it. And it kind of just breaks it up and puts it, it's easier to just blend into her hair. And I'm seeing here, this is what we usually don't do, but I'm doubling them up this time. And I'm actually putting some platinum blonde ones to add some length on top of the other extension. And since I have product and I back combed, they're not going to go anywhere. And I still have teasing to do on top and to hide that, but it will be seamless and gone. You won't be able to tell that they're there after I'm done. But that just kind of adds a lot more bulk, especially for the updo I want to do. I wanted to have a lot of hair to work with, and it definitely paid off in the end. So again, it's just based on preference, what styles you're going for, and that's the beauty of it. You can change it to whatever you want. And now I'm just I was taking a wipe and just wiping off any makeup around her hairline because she has blonde hair, so you would see any kind of foundation, and you just want to take the extra step to just make sure everything is where it should be. The makeup should be on your face, not in your hair, but sometimes when you're blending, that's what happens, especially with lighter color hair, it's easier to see. So now I'm just doing the side ones now, and normally I don't do them that close to the temple of the forehead, but for this, again, I was doing the updo that we ended up doing was down on that side of her face, so they were able to be hidden nicely into the braids, so you couldn't tell that they were there. But normally you use 2 fingers and 2 fingers away from the temple and start your extensions there. So you just see me back combing again with products, see all that volume. You want to back comb and tease, and then at the end you can take like a boar bristle brush, which adds a lot of shine like I'm doing now, and brush it out. So you're left with lots of texture and volume, which is exactly what you want. So when you need to, you can push and pull everything, and it will give you that body that you need. So now she's got a ton of hair. So now we can go in and do our curls. And normally for pageant day or wedding day, what I would do is I'd curl, and then I would do a pin curl. So I would curl them, roll them up, and then I would set them in the head, and I would go about doing the makeup first. But since we're doing a video, and for the sake of time, I just curled them today. And but again, for an event, I definitely pin curl, make them, they go through rehearsal, and they go through, like for a wedding, I'll curl them and then do the makeup so the hair has time to set and cool. And that'll just ensure long-lasting curls throughout the day. But again, around the face, you want to curl away from your face. Always curling away from your face is best. You don't want that prom look. And then I kind of drop it into my hand and let it cool for a minute. And that way the weight of the extensions in the hair don't pull the curl out and down. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, I'm just taking sections and just rolling them away from her face. And then you'll see me like pulse on the little trigger, and that just is to make sure we don't get like fish hook ends. It passes the hair through the curling iron, and it gives like a seamless curl from top to bottom. So that's what I'm doing. I just curl all around her face like so, and then I let them sit and cool in my hand a little bit, and then go on to the next one. And then when I don't like the curl or I need to get more volume, I just go back in, I'll curl the end, and then I'll go back through and curl up higher. And that's what you see me doing here. So then I come up around her bang. I think with her bang, I went ahead and just kind of clipped it forward because I wanted a lot of volume. So what I do is you could use the flat iron too, but I'm prepping it where I roll it out and down, and then I'll let it out, and then I'm going to pin it with a bobby pin. Or whatever kind of, you have roller clips, any kind of clip will work. You want that volume, so that's going to sit there. And we'll let that sit and cool while I do the other side of her head. So you kind of get the idea here. We're just going to repeat the same on the other side. So after I'm done curling, I'm just going back through with my teasing comb, and it's got a little pick at the end, and so I can go through, lift it up where I want to, and kind of pick through the curls. And the curls I've let cool down just a little bit. So now I'm taking my my wet brush with it has like a boar bristle on it. I'm just brushing through because I just want to blend the two together, the natural hair and the extensions together. And then I just go back through with my curling iron and touch up where I need throughout the hair. Just so that kind of just gives the hair a curl. It preps the hair to be curled, and then I'm able to brush through it if I need to, and then go back in and touch it up. So now I'm just working her bang a little bit. She's got a little bit of a cowlick, so we kind of have to like go back through and straighten it out a little bit, but we get it. We do. Just takes a little bit of playing around with for sure, but this at least gives it that volume, and once you get her hair done, it stays really nice throughout the day. So that's what we're doing here. We're just kind of straightening and again curling away from her face. Just kind of going over them again. And then this is a nice trick too, is using the the curling iron. You kind of, to calm down flyaways, you can kind of roll it over the top of the head. Never leaving it in one place for too long. Don't burn anybody. But you can kind of just push it down the flyaways a little bit, and the heat will just kind of chop them down, and that's a fun little tip. And again, just piecing the hair together, doing some shine spray and some hairspray, and we are good to go. So this, guys, completes our first look that we did. This is our go-to pageant look. It's great with any eye color, skin tone, brown smoky eye pretty much. What I love about it too is she can wear this throughout the day, and then when it comes to runway and evening, we're able to dress it up, which is what we're going to do next, and we're going to show you that. Just a quick variation that literally takes a couple seconds, because when you have to go on stage and go to the next thing, you have to be ready to go in a snap. So we're just going to dress this up a little bit more, just make it more evening attire, just more dressed up. So we're going to do an updo and add a little bit more drama to her eyes, and then we'll be back and show you the finished product. So now we're going to enhance her eye look, and I'm taking the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm taking that dark brown shade. These shadows are so pigmented. Learned that the hard way. Yeah, you just need the tiniest bit, and then I'm using a big fluffy brush that actually came with the palette, and the brush is actually really nice. I'm just adding that and intensifying the outer corner, and I'm dragging it in. So just add that warmth to the outer corner and really just kind of smokes it out. That's what I'm doing there, and I'm also going to take a transition color to kind of just even out the top again. So if I'm going with a dark color, I have to transition it. So that's the two transition colors I'm using right there from the same palette. Again, you don't need multiple palettes to do this. I have multiple palettes, so I just figured I'd use them. But again, you could get it done with, you know, a natural or nude palette, or any kind of colors that have the warm color palette. You can definitely get away with that. So I'm going to spray some more Fix Plus. MAC Fix Plus is the little mini guy that I take with me in my kit. I'm loving this stuff. This stuff is amazing. Amazing primer to spray on before your makeup and your brush to wet it to intensify pigments. So I'm taking those two shades and mixing them after my brush is a little bit wet on the flat side of the Anastasia brush, and I'm just highlighting her brow bone. Since we're going into evening, we kept it matte for the day. Now we're going to add evening, so I want to add a little bit of glitz and glam. So I'm taking that on her inner corner and her brow bone, and I'm adding a lot of highlight so it catches the light and just kind of, I feel like it dresses up everything. And again, I'm just doing the same thing to the other eye, and taking it to her brow bone to keep the eye open and blending it out. Again, it's a lot of back and forth blending, because you want to make sure it's blown out and just really nice. So I'm taking this Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner, and this stuff is amazing. They have multiple shades. What I'm doing with it is I start off on just the lash line to kind of add a little bit of glitter, but I actually like to take it up onto the lid and kind of ombre it out, so it kind of looks like glitter, and then as you get to the outer part of the lid, I kind of stop mid-lid and use a very light touch. I go heavier in the inner corner and a lighter touch on the outside to kind of just feather it out, and this just catches the light like no other. It's absolutely stunning, and so I'm just letting it dry on her lids, because if you don't, it will transfer everywhere. But as you can see, I have her open her eyes because I want to make sure that when she opens her eyes, you still see the glitter. And that's what I did there, and I'm just now balancing out, and again putting it on her inner corner and to midway about her eye, stopping right there. So I'm pretty much copying the top, and that completes this eye look. So now we are moving into this updo, formal updo. Now I'm just sectioning her hair. Again, the same idea, because I'm sectioning, for updos I usually like to start with 3 sections again. And now I'm starting off with a braid. So I want to section this off, and it's going to be a French braid down the front of her head. And this is where those extensions come in really handy, because it gave me a lot of extra hair to work with. I got a lot of pictures from Pinterest that want these big bulky braids, and without extensions, honestly, they're not possible with just average hair. I can't get them to look like that. You have to have a lot of hair for those. And we back combed a lot and teased, so that gives the hair a lot of texture and grip. So I'm able to go, after I braid it, you'll see me braiding, and I got 3 sections, just a normal French braid, incorporating the hair on the sides, and then you'll see that I do it tighter right now, but at the end, when I put it in the elastic, I'll loosen it up a lot. But I like to keep the structure of it in place as I'm braiding, and then I like to go back in and loosen it up a little bit to make it more full and thick, which you'll see me do in just a minute. But yeah, I'm just continuing the braid all the way down. I do leave a little bit at the end because the ends are still curled really nicely. And before I put an elastic in, I guess I did, I go ahead and massage the braid and pull it out. And this just gives a lot of definition too. And then I tie it up, and you see I left a little bit of hair at the bottom, because you'll see how it kind of falls into her ponytail, and it won't even show like where the elastic is. So I have a mirror in front of her so I'm able to look and see, but now I'm pulling it apart, and you can see that volume starting to take place and that fullness of that braid starting to take form, which is what a lot of people want. See, you can see how thick it is. So now I'm taking it to the other side, and I pull out a couple hairs, so I do like to have some hairs kind of framing the face. I'm just doing a French twist, so I'm just incorporating the hair little by little as I twist, and I kind of pull the hair and comb it. This is not meant to look perfect and slicked back and no flyaways and mess. It's best to look a little undone, this look. So you'll see me here, I'm just twisting it, and I'm separating the sections now. So I have it separated, and I'm going to take an elastic, and then I loosen up as I go too, so it really gets that like organic look. So now I'm taking an elastic and I'm tying off that one twist. So then I'm going to tie it, and I'm going to pull it a little bit, and then you'll see me take another section, and this is where you'll see that extension up there, but it will be covered by the braid by the end of this tutorial for sure, and in the pictures you'll see. And I'm just doing another section, because for this next braid, it's a lot of twists and braids that come together to make this look. You'll see me pull this through, tighten it, and so it's called an in and out braid. So what you do is you do 2 elastics, and you need 2 sections, and so you have one underneath. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling that section from that twist underneath into that hole. So this is going to get us ready for that in and out braid. So now what you do is every time you really just need elastics, and that's it. I'm brushing the hair through so there's not too many flyaways and frizzies, and then I'm going to do an elastic about 1.5 to 2 inches apart from each other, but you'll see that's 2 separate sections right there. So now I'm going to split the hole again and pull the next one through, and I like to really open up each little twist as it pulls through as I go versus going back through and doing it, but you'll probably get the same result. So as I'm doing here, I'm just repeating the process. I'm just kind of folding the braid over and opening it up, and then doing twist and pulling it through. So like just again, open up the section, pull the bottom hair through, and then kind of just fluff it out. And with this, with like long hair, what I love about it is you don't have to you can leave it unclipped at the end and untied, so it literally looks like your hair is just staying in that place without a tie. And you'll see how I kind of draped the braid around, and then I take the tail of it and I pull it through the braid. So now you don't even see where it starts and finishes, and it just all seamlessly blends in together. And then after you kind of have everything in place, you can go through then and see where you need to put a bobby pin, where you need to pull it out, make it fuller, longer, whatever you need to do. You can kind of see where you need it. And like I said at the end, so you don't even see where the elastic is.
It's this tutorial in this look. As you can see, we converted her down curls, big curls, into an updo, and side swept updo with some braids and an in and out braid. You can do a lot with braids, and it makes things look very complicated when they're really not, and it didn't take us long. So then we went back in with her eye, and we added a little bit more smokiness to it and glitter, which glitter makes everything look brighter and fun, and just especially when on stage or in front of a camera, really reflective. So that completes this look, guys, in this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed. And again, like I said, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next week. Yes, next week. We're going to be putting a lot together for you guys. So I hope you all enjoy, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.
here with International